Currencies, a vital part in our world and any world. So today I'm going to be talking about different currencies in different famous fantasy worlds. Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the title, today I'll be dealing with currencies in famous fantasy book worlds. I have 3 lined up for today: Lord of the Rings, Name of the Wind, which is the Kingkiller Chronicles, and Harry Potter. But as you can see in the title, this is also part 1. I have part 2 lined up, script is ready, and that video will be coming out Wednesday, September 15th. This is coming out on the Monday. And so yeah, part 2, I want you to get excited for Wednesday, consists of Wheel of Time currency, Mistborn, and Percy Jackson. I might make this a series. Put in the comments if you want me to do any other famous fantasy book series. If there's another fantasy book I probably haven't read, I will read that stat and probably do a currency once I'm done. But if you know I have read the book, and tell me if I forget about it. So yeah, part 2 will consist of Wheel of Time, Mistborn, and Percy Jackson. That will come out on Wednesday. But first, we have to deal with the currencies of today. Currencies is a very important part in a world, just like I said in the intro, and many books might have clear out currencies, like Name of the Wind, where the author Patrick Rothfuss, that's his hobby. His hobby is currency and the economy, and that's what he likes doing. But something like Lord of the Rings is not as clear and cut like Name of the Wind is. Tolkien liked to focus on language and linguistics because that's what his hobby was. So let's just start with Lord of the Rings. Tolkien mentions many different currencies in different parts. That might be a recurring thing, that there's not just one currency for the whole Middle Earth. That's just something, just like in our world, we don't have the same currency. The whole world, we have different currencies in different country or different regions. So yeah, so Tolkien mentioned many different currencies. But his books mostly focus on language, so it's kind of hard to see like which one and the conversion rate and stuff like that. It's kind of complicated, but there are hints of a type of money. There are many mentions of people saying they forgot their money, and the most common is pennies, silver, and gold. I think that's a very famous fantasy book currency, just silver, gold, and pennies or bronze or whatever. And the kind of hints we get on how much things are is a pony is around 4 silver pennies, and a gold piece is considered to be high price for news. So sorry if you wanted a big explanation. I couldn't find any source of really big in-depth money, but that's not what Tolkien focused on. So yeah, let's get to the next one. The Name of the Wind. Like I said before, Patrick Rothfuss really focused on his money, his currency. So it is more of an explanation, and there's more information and more explanation for the currency in Name of the Wind than Lord of the Rings and others. So the most commonly used and accepted currency in Termorant, the world which the Name of Wind takes place in, is Seldish currency. The Seldish currency system uses representative coins. This means each coin is worth more than its own weight in metal. The different values of the Seldish currency is as follows: a shim, drab, jot, talent, and mark. The only information I could find from the difference between each value is 12 to 14 shim equal 1 drab. So you can see the conversion rate there. Another currency in Temerant is Commonwealth, which is used in big cities like Tarbean and consists of iron penny, a halfpenny, a copper penny, a silver penny, and a common. And the last currency of Temerant I will mention is Vintas, currency which is in the book mainly used at the Waystone Inn, the place where Quoth, the main character, tells his story of 3 days. The Name of the Wind wiki says as follows. Thank you, Name of the Wind wiki, for this information. This is for Vintas. The units are made of copper, silver, and gold, and its values from lowest to highest are divided into halfpenny and penny, both made of copper, bit, quarter bit, round, half, and noble, all made of silver, and real, royal, and 5 real piece, which are made of gold. The Vintas's pennies are made so that they can be divided into 2 halves. Half penny, which are worth exactly half the worth of normal penny. The normal is true for bits and quarter bits, so that a quarter bit is worth a fourth part of a round, worth one quarter of a round, and a bit is an eighth part of a round, worth 1/8 of a round. And big thanks to Name of the Wind Wiki for that information. So if you didn't get that there are pennies in the Name of the Wind world, and you can crack them in half. You can literally grab the metal and crack it in half to have half a penny. And same thing with a round. You can crack the round in half and into quarters, which makes a quarter bit and an eighth bit. And so yeah. So that was very complicated. As you can see, Name of the Wind had a lot more information than Lord of the Rings for the currencies. And yeah, let's get to the last book currency that we will be talking about today. Harry Potter. The Wizarding World currency is nice and simple. I mean, kind of. I mean, way more simple than the 2 previous fantasy worlds we talked about today. The Wizarding World currency only has 1 currency for the whole Wizarding World, which is nice. It's way simple, and it's used a lot. So there's more information about it. Harry, to buy anything, he says how much he paid, and the books in Diagon Alley he has to buy. It's very simple. It consists of 3 different coins: a galleon, which is gold, a sickle, which is silver, and a nut, which is bronze. I don't know if that's knut or nut. I'm just gonna say nut. The conversion to each is as follows: 29 nuts equals 1 sickle, 17 sickles equals 1 galleon, and back to the start, 1 galleon equals 493 nuts. So as you can see, it's way more simple just to give a galleon than 493 nuts. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video for today. Maybe it was confusing, maybe I was all over the place. Sorry about that, but we talked about Lord of the Rings currency, which is kind of complicated, there's not really a certain direct aspect to it, like Name of the Wind and Harry Potter. And then we talked about Name of the Wind, which has 3 different currencies I talked about: the Commonwealth, and the Seldish, and the Vintas. And then Harry Potter was, I think, the most simple. So yeah, hope you're excited for Wednesday, which today, part 2, we'll talk about Wheel of Time, Mistborn, and Percy Jackson. Leave in the comments which other fantasy series you want me to talk about in part 3, because I really like talking about currencies. I find it really interesting. So thanks for listening, and see you next time.